Hello, this is a presentation by Family First Legal. This presentation will provide a general overview of custody, jurisdiction, and venue in the state of Maryland. You should expect by the end of this module that you will know the definition for the terms jurisdiction and venue, and that you will understand how each of them will apply to your custody case. Jurisdiction determines what court within what specific geographic area has the authority to rule over the subject matter, which in our case will be family law custody, and over the person, which will be the child or property in question. Children are not property, so that does not apply in this case. Venue determines which court is actually the best location to hear the case. So while you might know what geographic location based on jurisdiction the case should be heard in, venue helps you to specify which court exactly you will file in what area. Jurisdiction over the person or property. We focus mostly on the person because custody requires jurisdiction over the person. Maryland applies the Uniform Child Custody Jurisdiction and Enforcement Act, better known as the UCCJEA, to determine jurisdiction over child custody matters. Under the UCCJEA, the home state will always have jurisdiction to decide custody matters, unless they relinquish that jurisdiction. The home state is where the child has lived for at least 6 consecutive months immediately before the filing of any custody matter. So, you may be wondering what happens if the child has moved from state to state and hasn't lived anywhere for 6 months for a period of time, or what happens if the child is younger than 6 months old and hasn't had the opportunity to live anywhere for 6 months. Well, these bottom bullets here will answer those questions. If the child has been removed from the state or has not lived anywhere recently for 6 consecutive months, their home state will be the last state in which that child has resided for 6 consecutive months. If the child is a minor child under the age of 6 months old and hasn't resided anywhere for 6 months because they're younger than 6 months of age, it will be where has the child resided since birth, even if it has been less than 6 months. Jurisdiction over the subject matter. So even if the court has jurisdiction over the child, the court that has to make the decision in custody matters must specifically have the right to make decisions about what will happen in a custody situation. Once Maryland has identified itself as the home state for the child, this next step in determining the subject matter of the case will help you clarify which courts in Maryland can hear the case. In Maryland, only circuit courts can hear custody matters. There are some slight variations which will allow a district court to address a custody matter in a protective or peace order situation. However, it does not give them full jurisdiction over the case. It only gives them jurisdiction to make temporary or emergency custody arrangements where there is a protective or peace issue at play. We won't get into the jurisdiction of the district court. We will focus only on the circuit court because if you're filing a custody matter, that is the place where you should file in Maryland. Which circuit court can hear your case? This will be your venue. In Maryland, there may be multiple courts that have venue, since venue is proper in the county where the child resides, the father or the alleged father resides, or the mother resides. If the child resides in one county with a grandparent and the father resides in another county and the mother yet in another county, then there may be 3 counties that have county circuit courts which have jurisdiction. Each county in the state of Maryland only has one circuit court. However, if you have 3 parties and all 3 are living in different counties, there are 3 circuit courts that could particularly hear the case. Where you file the case is really up to you. You can file in any of these places. Once it's determined that the home state is Maryland, you may file if the child resides in Maryland. You may file anywhere where the child lives or has lived, and the father may file where he lives, or the mother may file where she lives, or either party may file in the place where either of these situations exist. So, a quick recap of what we've talked about here about venue and jurisdiction, and kind of it decreases as you, or let's just go down the chart here to kind of quickly overview it and understand it. First, you must have jurisdiction. If in order for Maryland to have jurisdiction, they must be the home state. The home state is the place where the child has lived for the last 6 consecutive months before filing your custody case, or if the child has lived outside of the state for 2 to 3 months, 4 months, or even 5 months, you want to go back. The home state is the place where the child lives 6 months consecutive for the last time prior to moving to somewhere else where he or she hasn't lived longer than 6 months. Then, once you've established a home state, now you need to figure out where the subject matter can be heard. Custody cases can be heard in the circuit court. The circuit court will have jurisdiction over custody matters. So, which circuit court you're going to be heard in the state of Maryland. So, once you decide Maryland is the home state, our state addresses the subject matter of custody in circuit courts. There is one circuit court in each county, and now you want to know where and which circuit court and what county will you file. You can file in the circuit court of the county where the child lives if the child lives in Maryland currently. You can file in the circuit court where the father lives if the father lives in Maryland currently. Or you can file in the circuit court where the mother lives if the mother lives in Maryland currently. And if all of them live in Maryland, you can choose whichever venue is most convenient for you. Now, this has been a quick overview of venue and jurisdiction as it relates to custody. If you have additional information or need more specific information as it relates to your case, please give us a call for a free consultation at 240-734-1024 or check us out on the web at www.fflmd.com, and you'll want to go to the contact page if you still want to get a free consultation. Thank you. Good luck with your endeavors, and we appreciate your attention.